Going on, everyone? Matthew from therighttrader.com back again with another live stream. Welcome, everybody. Let's get this stream started here. As always, we give people a bit of time to join the stream, so just be patient for a minute or so. We're going to be looking, as per usual, at the good old Bitcoin price. Let's pull up a cleaner chart here. Now, a couple things that are important to mention is Bitcoin has been sinking lower again. Now, just started the stream. Welcome to the few viewers who just joined. I am usually giving people a bit of time to join the stream, so just be patient. A few more seconds till we get this started. Welcome, everyone. I want to see your comments down in the stream below. Say hi to everybody. Let's see if we can beat our previous record of 50 people. The viewership has been amazing since I started streaming, so I'm continuing to do these very regularly. Bitcoin price currently at 20,233. So the market sinking a bit lower again in the last few hours. Basically, the last 24 hours, we saw a drop of 4% on Ethereum and 2.4% for Bitcoin. So fairly big drop considering the two biggest coins here. And actually, this is the first day in about a week or so that altcoins started underperforming and dropping pretty substantially again, right? We see coins like Dogecoin, Solana, which were actually performing pretty well, start to fall almost about 10% here, and that can be seen pretty consistently across the entire altcoin space. So we're starting to see that fear come back into the market, and that's what I'm going to be talking about in this video. Is that fear justified, or is this just nothing to worry about? So we're going to be talking about that. But right now, if you watched my previous live stream yesterday or a day ago, you would have known that I said it is likely that the price could start sinking lower again. And unfortunately, right, we were not able to get past our previous kind of top back at 21,500. Let me go back to the 4-hour chart here, and you'll see exactly what I'm talking about. So as you can see, a lot of weakness in Bitcoin, right? We kind of peaked out here on the bounce at 21,800 at the most, but really even around 21,500, a lot of resistance there. And actually, I want to point out that something that might surprise a lot of people. Wow, we're getting a lot of viewers. Welcome, everybody. Welcome to the stream. We just started. You haven't missed anything yet. 13 viewers already. Make sure to smash that like button as we get started. Go ahead and say hi to the chat. I am reading all your comments as per usual. We're diving into the Bitcoin price and chart right now live. Welcome, everybody. We've got Iron Lux Trader already saying hi once again, regular viewer there. And make sure to follow and subscribe to this channel, and also turn on the bell notification so you never miss these live streams, because if you would have watched our previous stream, I called this Bitcoin drop. I am sure the other viewers in the stream can confirm that. Welcome, Iron Lux Trader. Welcome, Tafui. And yes, I will be answering the question of if I think it will go lower from here or not. Now, Bitcoin price currently right around $20,250. Ethereum price right below $1,150, and overall some selling pressure coming back into the market. And I wanted to show you just how bad the weakness is in the Bitcoin chart. Right, I'm going to go ahead and circle this right here. We've got 3 attempts, at pushing higher, and these 3 attempts failed miserably. In fact, not even one of these managed to test the blue moving average line, which is the 100-day moving average line on the 4-hour chart, right? We had 3 times where we could have at least touched it, right, to show some strength, but unfortunately we didn't even come close, really, right? So there's a significant gap here between these tops, which I can go ahead and put in that downtrend line, which we are now starting to see play out more and more, right? And as the weakness is coming in here, as we're not even able to attempt a move at that 100-day moving average, we're even starting to see the drop accelerate, right? And this could continue as we start breaking some of the lower levels. A lot of panic is going to start coming into the price. In fact, right now, I hadn't even put in this this line on purpose, but if we take this line right around 20,400, so if I maybe clean that up a bit and bring that really to where we have a lot of support, which now is turning into resistance right around 20,400, 20,500. You can see that this candle right here that is live tracking on the 4-hour, this candle right here is not above that line. So it is absolutely struggling even more than the past few candles already that we got 2 big red candles. This one might just be another big red candle. It also might be some consolidation, right? Keep in mind, we could reach the end of this range right here. So there is room to consolidate still a little bit more in this range if that's what it chooses to do. That would not be surprising, right? And keep in mind, at any point, if we get a break above 21,800, right, we're likely going to get that push up higher, up to 25, 26, or even $28,000, right? But right now, there is a lot of talk on additional weakness coming into play here, and that is what we're seeing play out not only with Bitcoin, but with altcoins as well, which broke the pattern of a few days ago where altcoins were doing good. Let's refresh the overall market heat map chart, and we're going to see what's going on. Welcome to our 14 live viewers. If you're enjoying the stream, please subscribe, smash that like button. Let's break a new record of viewership and chats. I want to see the chats blow up. If you have any questions, let me know in the comments down below. And looking at the Bitcoin price here, we can see dominance of 41.32%. I am expecting this to actually start increasing pretty substantially in the next few days. Now, that's not to say that the Bitcoin price might not drop, but I think some money is going to come out of altcoins and back into Bitcoin here, based on the patterns that I'm seeing. Going back to the heat map, if you notice, if your eye is sharp here, guess what you can see? Pay attention to not these cryptos over here, but the cryptos that are in the deep red, right? These are cryptos like Solana, DOT, Doge, AVAX, SHIB. These coins, okay, in the last day have been showing very stronger weakness compared to the rest of the market, right? So some of the bigger coins still not dropping as fast, but we got our altcoins starting to increase the selling pressure. Let's go over to the 7-day heat map. That was the opposite, right? A lot of these altcoins were actually flying high, and so now we're seeing the pullback consequence of that. This is the best channel on YouTube for crypto analysis, and you can see it right here with this in-depth overview of the heat map. You won't find this on any other YouTube channel, so make sure to smash that like button. And let's dive back towards the Bitcoin chart here, flirting with the $20,250 level. We're going to keep a close eye on this during this stream. Over on the daily chart, we can see that our current candle right here is actually struggling to hold above this 20,300 level, and that could really cause some more downside. In fact, if we look at this chart over here, which is the daily time frame, we actually could very easily drop back down to 18,000 before finding some more support, right? And at that point, we'll have to ask ourselves the question, is this support level over here gonna hold? So it's hard to tell just yet, right? We'll see how the patterns are playing out once we reach this level, potentially, which is seeming more and more likely that we do retest at least 18,000, and we could see lower prices than that. I've talked about it before. Going back to 16, 15K is not unreasonable, especially towards the end of this week and this weekend. Please keep in mind that weekends tend to be a very common time for cryptos to start tanking, right? And the reason for that is because in the US, you cannot do bank transfers over the weekend. So Chinese whales like to take advantage of that to tank market prices and really drop it while other people can't stabilize the price, right? And that can cause a lot of liquidations. If you've been watching the streams, you will be aware that just a little bit lower from our current price levels, right? I'll go ahead and zoom out here, down towards $13,600 to $14,000 is a massive Celsius liquidation area. So right now, we're seeing the selling pressure coming back in. I mentioned this pattern yesterday where we can see the price rounding back downwards, right? And so this is also on top of all the moving averages that are trending lower. You can see them right here, all pointing towards the downside, which is a bearish pattern and a continuation of the bearishness. In fact, like I mentioned on the 4-hour chart, if we go over here on the daily chart, we look at our orange trend line, the 50-day moving average. Once again, as we're moving forward in time, right, since we started dropping, we tested it back here. Then we were not able to test it again. We reattempted twice here. We did not test it. And now it looks like we're falling lower again, and we're drastically lower than our 50-day moving average. Why am I mentioning this? Because the pattern that can be seen here is additional pressure coming in, right? That means even more selling pressure than we saw back here. And keep in mind, right, this is additional selling pressure after already dropping, you know, a sizable amount, over 40%, right? So it is a bit concerning that we're seeing the weakness come back in so quickly in terms of this chart. And let me do a little bit of a cleanup here. We're going to go back towards the shorter time frame. So I'm going to go on the hourly chart here and show you what's going on. I saw another YouTuber mention this pattern here, which I had not heard about. It's called the Adam and Eve pattern. And basically, this triangle right here is the Adam formation. And then we've got the Eve formation, which tends to be a circular formation as such. You can go ahead and Google search that later. But basically, right, what happens with this pattern is once we break the neckline here, right around the prices where we're at, you could draw it a little bit lower, potentially at 19,700. But once we break these levels, massive downside breakdown. So we're seeing this pattern play out. We've got all those additional moving averages, you know, pushing us lower. Look at that. It becomes much more clear with my drawings. Even though they're messy, you can see all the weakness that's coming in, right? We're basically fully sinking right now, as per the title of this video. And we got our purple line, which is our downtrend line as well. Welcome to our 17 live viewers. Just went up to 19. That's amazing. Thank you so much for the support, everybody. I'm also going to be diving into some news pieces here. We've got some really interesting things going on. We have this article here that shows that 72 of the top 100 cryptocurrency coins have fallen 90% or more. And they talk about which ones have avoided this pattern of destruction. We'll dive into that in just a second. We also got some other reports here from Glassnode, which is a website that tracks the in-depth the in-depth chain of Bitcoin, and notices patterns from that. This is very in-depth analysis. And what they are saying is that Bitcoin's 2022 price drop represents a bear market of historic proportions. And I also mentioned this in my other stream, where we're going to go to the weekly longer term time frame for Bitcoin, right? What a beautiful chart this is. Bitcoin skyrocketing to the moon indeed, but now we're breaking that pattern very sharply, right? So the question is, why is this happening, right? Why is the Bitcoin price showing so much weakness? And really, you know, basically look at this drop. It's straight down, right? What's behind all of this? And I want to mention that during this entire overall bull market of Bitcoin, which was directly in line with a huge, never seen before jump up in the price of stocks, this was a bullish period in general, right? We were not in a recession, and here we are basically already entering our first ever recession for Bitcoin. I've seen people you know, relate this to the housing crash version of crypto, and this is very much understandable considering the amount of funds and institutions that are going bankrupt. We see major companies in the crypto space defaulting. This is not the case for bit.com, which is my favorite cryptocurrency exchange. Link to them in the description of this video. They have amazing cryptocurrency options available for trading. But indeed, we have seen many companies such as Celsius, and other big crypto firms that are riddled with lawsuits now. Golden Sats downgraded Coinbase to accelerating. There are huge concerns with many crypto exchanges, which is why I like to stick to the more trustworthy ones, such as bit.com. And you need to be really careful out there, right? Because I think a lot of people who put their money in places that they thought were safe are going to lose it all. This can be seen from what happened with UST, the stablecoin of Luna. And by the way, let's take that as an opportunity to do a little sign analysis here with UST, which actually has been pumping. Is this relevant? Absolutely not. Absolutely not, folks. Do not pay attention to stuff like this in the bull market. I'm very sorry to say. Now, I was trading back while UST was trashing. I was trading it, but don't go thinking that this is a good long-term play or anything like that, right? These things that are now deceased projects, I'm going to repeat that, they are now deceased projects, in my opinion. Things like Luna and Terra and its UST stablecoin, right? These deceased projects tend to be victims of pump and dump scams where, newbie retail investors get caught into these moves thinking that, oh, we're going back to $1 on UST. I don't see that happening, unfortunately. Maybe I'm wrong, but that's just my own personal opinion. And we're seeing these patterns play out as well for Luna, and even more so for Luna Classic, which is what previously was the Luna token, right? I'm not a fan of any of this stuff. Creating these new tokens, doing these splits, it's all a bunch of junk in my opinion. So please be careful out there. I did want to share this so that people did not waste their time with these deceased coins. Once again, it's my personal opinion, not financial advice. Anything could happen, but I'm just telling you from my experience, these deceased projects don't tend to ever come back to life, right? They just end up being victims of pump and dump schemes and forever going closer to zero. Now, right now we're pumping on Luna Classic. And by the way, if you want to know my opinion, if anything, Luna Classic is better than the newer Luna fork that they created, in my opinion, but still I would not touch any of those three tokens. And this is just a distraction while the overall market is seeing weakness. And please keep in mind that UST and Terra were in big part the acceleration of the cryptocurrency drop that we're seeing right now, right? In fact, Luna's implosion directly affected firms and was basically collateral damage to major crypto companies like Celsius and others that have basically blown up or are in the process of blowing up. We know pretty much for certain that Three Arrow Capital's, one of the biggest funds in crypto, has gone completely bankrupt, basically, right? And we're seeing massive companies that lent their money to them not able to recover it, right? It sounds a bit ridiculous, but these people are not aware of the risks and then blow up everything for everybody else. So it is very, very sad overall. But like I said, right, this entire time, huge bull market in both stocks and cryptos, and now we're seeing a recession come in. Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies are really, really struggling to hold up the buying pressure in these times, right? And that's not to say that long-term they're not going to recover. I am still bullish. I have a $1 million price target long-term for Bitcoin, possibly in the next 10 years or so. But still, right now, the path is towards the downside. If we go ahead and bounce over quickly to Ethereum, you probably all know my price target, which is now at $361 for Ethereum. And Ethereum could see a lot of selling pressure. Now, I will say Bitcoin has selling pressure from its miners unloading their Bitcoin to cover costs and to pay off debt. In fact, we just saw today, I believe, Compass Mining, which was one of the bigger possibly publicly traded crypto mining companies, I'm not sure about that, but one of the bigger mining companies that literally basically went bankrupt, right? And that was from not being able to pay its electricity bills, folks. Just think about the times we're heading in. Ethereum here, with this one, it is going to be more of a it's going to be more affected by an overall drop in DeFi, an overall implosion in DeFi, causing Ethereum to drop, and Bitcoin is going to see a lot of selling pressure from loan repayments and crypto miners. So really pay attention to what I said there. Both these coins have slightly different selling pressures, but very big selling pressures nonetheless, right? Still could see over 50 to 60 to 70% drop for Ethereum alone. Let's bounce back over to Bitcoin. And let's go ahead and talk about those articles that I had brought up there just a second ago. If you're enjoying this video, make sure to smash that like button. Here are my disgusting thumbs up. So go ahead and smash that like button. Subscribe if you haven't already. Welcome to the 23 live viewers that we have over here. I would really appreciate your support. Make sure to leave comments, subscribe, turn on those bell notifications so you don't miss these streams. We're talking about the 72 coins out of the top 100 that have fallen more than 90%, which is pretty substantial, right? Now, these could be very good buying opportunities long term, but you need to be really careful right now as the market is sinking lower. I mentioned many times this global cryptocurrency market cap right around $950 billion. I said we're going to have a lot of resistance at $1 trillion, and that's what happened. And now we're falling lower, down 3% in the last 24 hours alone. And now I'm not the only one that's starting to notice that. In fact, as you can see here in the headline of this article, the crypto economy has slipped under the $1 trillion mark. And we can see that Bitcoin is down a massive 70% from its all-time high. Glassnode Insight is calling this bear market a bear of historic proportion. And they are also saying that it can be reasonably argued that 2022 is the most significant bear market in digital asset history. Now, I'm not trying to scare anyone, right? I do still hold crypto, and I want it to go up just as much as everybody else. With that being said, let's look back at the previous bear market over here, which was still in reasonably decent economic times, right? This lasted just about 2 years total, give or take. Now, just think about the fact that if we see a disgusting bear market where we go between $8,000 to $6,000, which is becoming more likely. My initial downside price target is $9,000, and now slowly I am pushing it down a little bit lower for a peak drop between $8,000 and $6,000. That could last literally, potentially longer than this one by at least, an extra year, if not double, right? So that could be basically, let's see, we're in 2022 right now. We already had the drop starting back towards January 22. So, minimum probably 2024 to start pumping again. And we could even last till 2025 or even 2026, depending how bad the global environment is, right? This is not impossible, right? And this would still look like nothing in the long-term price chart of Bitcoin, because after that we would go skyrocketing. But keep in mind, right, this consolidation and this drop might not just be a 1 year thing, right? This could be a multi-year consolidation period, right? We've seen it before in crypto. And if we're in a recession, why would it not be longer? Listen to what I'm saying. Why would it not be longer than our previous crypto winter, right? We were nowhere near. Stocks were still pretty much pumping in this time period. Why would we not last longer in the consolidation if we're in a full-blown economic meltdown recession with many top cryptocurrency firms going bankrupt, right? This is like the housing crash for crypto. Day by day, it's seeming more likely. And in fact, we already dropped 100 points since I started this live stream, guys. So please pay attention and be careful out there. Like I said, right, you do need to make your own opinion. None of this is financial advice, but please pay attention to what I'm saying here. Now, these two triangles that you see here, I actually have 3 drawn out now. Our third one is kind of the downside price target in the short term. But right now, on the daily time frame, you can see that we had this initial consolidation. We're out of that triangle. I don't really see us going back inside it. If we do, it would be extremely bullish, right? This triangle right here, but it is just very unlikely right now. In fact, literally as we're talking, the price is tanking. Right now we're trying to be hopeful to stay in this triangle right here between $19,500 and $21,000. But like I said, right, I mean, by the hour here, we're sinking lower. A few more hours and we could be below 19,500. That could really set us up for some serious downside towards 15K or potentially even lower. Please consider dropping a super chat to support this live stream. I am doing this full time still, but revenue for crypto YouTubers like me is not as good as it once was. So if you are enjoying these analysis that I'm doing nearly every day, please consider dropping a super chat to support the channel and to support the stream so I can keep giving you the best analysis on YouTube for the longest possible amount of time. Please consider dropping a super chat. I'll make sure to give you a nice shout out. And I am, of course, looking at all your comments, but if you want to go ahead and drop a super chat, say welcome to the stream or anything you want to mention, please consider it. Now, Bitcoin, right now, still seeing that selling pressure. Just want to say welcome to everybody that joined. We're now at a peak of 30 live viewers, and this is actually a very sharp jump up in the price. So let's see what happened here. We literally jumped up. Yeah, we got a very, very bullish candlestick here. So keep an eye on this one. I'll mention if there's anything new in the stream live, but let's go up to a cleaner chart again and see what has caused this very big candle on the 5-minute time frame. This is the advantage of watching these live streams. You get to see everything in real time and get my thoughts on it. Now, very big wick here, right? This is a monstrous wick, literally basically 100-point wick there for Bitcoin. That doesn't happen that often. Now we see these volatile candles happen, right? And we'll see if this fully causes a bit of a reversal to the upside. It is possible because, like I said, right, we just need to move above 21,500 basically to really start pumping much higher up to over our previous resistance of 21,100 and really onwards towards a massive 26 to 28k price move. It is possible, but look at these candles are very volatile right now. We pumped higher, we're getting a pullback. We'll see how this plays out. I'll keep tracking this live because this was very volatile. But you can't get too caught up just yet, right? Initially you want to break past this area right here, so the blue 100-day moving average and the 20,300 level on the 5-minute time frame to start pushing higher up towards 21,000 plus again. So we need to see if this holds or if this was just a volatility candle. Sometimes these volatility candles cause a massive move higher, but just as easily when we get these volatile candles, they also tend to cause inverse reactions or big drops or big spikes, right? So they can kind of go in any direction. That's why you need to keep an eye on it. But if we do start pumping higher, we're likely going to really go fast back to 21,000 plus, so keep an eye on this right now. This is a key moment right now for what's going to happen possibly over the weekend or in the next few days. So be very aware of what's happening on the shorter time frames as well as those longer time frames. I love this 4-hour time frame. It is a very nice indicator of kind of what's happening in the medium term, right? We get a really nice big picture overview, and you can see here that despite the weakness that we have, right, we do still have all this room to go higher on a bounce to at least basically 25,000 before our first bit of initial resistance, and we could absolutely go higher. Now, like I said, right, if we do all of a sudden start to see the price pump substantially and we head back, I'm going to go to my other chart here. If we get back into the upper triangle here between 28,000 and 32,000, then, right, listen to this, folks, then we could really be considering a potential pump that could bring us into a more sustainable price area. But we are still very far from that. In fact, we would need a basically 50% pump, which is absolutely not impossible, but we need a 50% pump to get us back into that. And really, to confirm a breakout higher, we need to break above 32,300, 60% price move from where we're at now. So like I said, right, I think it's more likely that we end up testing 26, 28k and then falling lower than managing to get all the way up here and then ripping higher on a breakout. It's just going to be quite hard to do. I'm going to take a second to read all the chats from the viewers here. We've got Matt saying Bitcoin is going to 10 to 14k. Iron Lux Trader saying turn bell notifications on. Yes, that's right. Make sure to turn on those bell notifications to never miss a live stream and subscribe. I've got Aethrin, regular viewer. Thank you to Iron Lux and Aethrin for being such regular viewers of the live stream, saying I think we go to 10 to 14K, but we are due one relief rally. That's exactly what I'm thinking as well, right? I'm thinking one last relief rally before flipping back below 20,000 is very likely. I'm really leaning towards that being the case. That's my gut feeling, is that we do get that relief rally up to 26, 28K, and then we'll start sinking lower again. And let's go ahead and see what are happening with stocks. As I expected, right? Stocks are actually pumping a bit in the stock market futures. We've got the NASDAQ, which tends to cause Bitcoin to either pump if it's green or drop if it's red. It is currently up in the futures market 0.25%. So this is why we're likely seeing Bitcoin start to kick back up a little bit higher above 20,300. In fact, let's go and track this live on the 5-minute time frame. If you've been watching this video, you would have known that I said 20,300, 20,350, pretty key levels to start pumping higher again above 21,500. Let's clean up this chart just a little bit over here and see what's going on. So we have this candle here. This might make a move towards the 100-day moving average blue line right here. So we want to see that, right? We haven't tested that on the 5-minute basically at all, so in a very long time. So this would be a very bullish sign if we're able to test this blue line right here. That'll only require a bounce of 40.4%. And you know, if we go over to the 4-hour chart and take a look at that, to get to our 100-day moving average on the 4-hour, which is going to be much more bullish and confirm some potential upside movement, we're looking at a 4% move higher for Bitcoin. So not too bad. In fact, if we look over in the last 24 hours, we're down to 2.6%. So we basically just need to recover that and do half more, and we're basically there. So we're not that far off. And actually, despite a little bit of bearishness that came in the middle of this live stream, now we're starting to see a little bit of support starting to form. Look at these candles here. Let's go ahead and zoom in a bit more. We can see that first off, right, even though we have actually, I should have drawn this earlier. This is very clear that we have a symmetrical triangle sort of forming right now. So we'll see how this one plays out. We had lost our previous symmetrical triangle formation, you know, over here. That was a very weak one, actually. You know, we basically failed miserably, but now we're in this other formation, so we'll see how this one plays out. Keep in mind, I don't like drawing the symmetrical triangle formations too much because they tend to be extremely you know, fake in terms of, you know, having traps play out. So here we pumped higher, right, leading us to expect a move to the upside, and guess what, we dropped after that. So here we could potentially drop a bit and then just pump right back up. There's an extreme amount of fake outs in crypto, so be very careful with that. Now with that being said, we have this little base here forming. I'll go ahead and put this in with a horizontal support level right around 20,200. We got some support and now we're moving higher. So at this point, I think that it's more likely that we head a little bit higher during this live stream. We've got Matt saying just an estimate, Tether looking weak, lots of margin calls in the markets coming, market makers and brokers having liquidity issues. That's a great summary of what's happening, Matt, and thank you for that comment. Let's go and see if he is right that Tether is seeing some weakness. So let's go ahead and take a look right now. It seems to be holding up decently, but I'm sure if we move over to the market cap, look at that, right? 2 massive spikes lower in the market cap in the last 7 days, and you can see that people have been unloading. Look at this drop, right? We're talking over $10 billion unloaded out of Tether, and this isn't going right back into crypto, right? People are scared of stablecoins right now. Let's go ahead and take a look at USDD, which is Tron stablecoin, which has seen some volatility. It is coming back towards $1 I mentioned this yesterday in my live stream. I said that it was going to repeg. Tron is dropping, but it shouldn't, because this is going to become one of the biggest stable coins out there. Now, with that being said, please remember the risks that can be seen with stable coins. We're going back to this article. Bitcoin is currently experiencing the largest capital outflow event in history. So this is not only with stable coins like Tether, but this is also with the biggest crypto out there, Bitcoin. Now, I wanted to mention this article right here, right, that talks about how most of the top 100 coins have fallen out of more than 90%. Now, they say Bitcoin, biggest crypto, down a little over 70%. Ethereum down 78% from its high. And then we've got some of the stronger top 10 cryptos. Now, we got BNB falling only about 68% as of right now. And then some other ones here, Cardano, Solana, Polkadot, doing not horrible in retrospect to some of the other small altcoins. However, right, we have XRP falling a massive 90%. Okay, that's a crazy drop for a Bitcoin like XRP. It's got a lot of issues though, a lot of lawsuits going on, so it isn't unexpected. But I wanted to mention something very key here that they talk about, and I would really take this as a bit of a warning sign. This is going to be this bit right here. So I'll go ahead and go over this. They say stablecoins haven't been too immune to falls either. Despite theoretically being stable since 2018, many have wobbled by 10 to 30% at various points. Keep in mind, these are stablecoins that are supposed to be pegged to $1. So a 10% drop would be, of course, 90 cents, but a 30% drop would bring that stablecoin, which is supposed to be at $1, all the way down to 70 cents, right? That is very worrisome. And even more worrisome is look at these stable coins that are on this list, right? USDT has experienced this. USDC has experienced. So these are at least a 10% drop here, right? BUSD as well, DAI, Frax, Pax Dollar, Pax Gold, which I don't even know why this is in the list. This is not a US dollar stable coin. Compound DAI, and True USD, which literally fell a massive almost 40% from its peg. Now, what do we get out of this, right? Stablecoins are not entirely safe. In fact, pretty much every single stablecoin in history, whether they were algorithmic stablecoins or collateralized, have seen volatility and depegs, right? I repeat that every single stablecoin in the cryptocurrency market has depegged at least once before, right? Now, of course, a lot of these have regained their peg, right? And some of these are safer than others, such as USDC, for example, or BUSD. But still, guys, still keep in mind that these are really basically all of the stable coins, the biggest ones even, have depegged. So that could cause further pressure if we see things like Tether destabilize, have some fears, which has already been going on, right? We talked about all that money coming out of Tether. Let's see if that's similar for USDD. Well, it isn't, right? The market cap of USDD has been skyrocketing higher, okay? Skyrocketing higher. It's on a non-stop tear, right? And that's going to be reflected on the Tron price sooner rather than later. In fact, it is actually holding up pretty well still. And I expect this one to be really a bit of a tank in this bear market, weathering the storm decently well. That's not to say that it couldn't drop a bit more, right? This is an altcoin. This could go to 2.5 cents pretty easily, but I still think it's going to be able to weather the storm better than others. People do need some stable coins during the bear market, and USDD could be a prime pick for that. Now, looking at Bitcoin's price, going to zoom back in to the shorter time frames, still holding up quite nicely right around $20,300. We're now at 19 live viewers on the stream. Welcome, everybody. Thank you so much for your support. Consider dropping a super chat. Doing these streams, doing YouTube is my full-time job. And for that to continue to be the case, I do need your support and your super chats to allow me to keep doing these daily live streams for you. So please, if you're enjoying this analysis, if you've been watching the channel for a while and you find my reviews helpful, please consider dropping a super chat and supporting the live stream. We've got Matt saying housing market about to kick the bucket again. derivative market is 1 quadrillion USD. Reverse repo is at $2.3 trillion. He's saying lots of red flags. That's very true. Matt is definitely looking at some very in-depth factors, but that are important nonetheless. You know, the fact of the matter here is that there are a ton of worrisome signs in the economy, and Bitcoin and crypto, which is being priced as a very volatile risk asset, is getting hit hard due to that, right? And keep in mind, we do see price pumps in bear markets, and I think we're likely to get one right here. So I'm still very much expecting that. You know, sometimes when I make these live streams in the last few days, I do sound extremely bearish, and that's because I still think we're going to be heading lower into this range. Sorry, that was an absolutely horrific drawing. Let me go ahead and pull out the triangle to draw that more neatly. I still think, right, we could be heading into this bearish range right here, right? We're talking between $10,000 and $6,000. So that's why I tend to have this bearish tone, but that's not to say that I don't think the price could easily pump up to $25,000 to $28,000, because if we look back in the previous bear market, right, it's very easy to calculate. We got a very big 95%. Look at this, guys. Please smash that like button for the best analysis on YouTube. 95% price pump during the previous bear market. You can expect this type of stuff again, right? And we saw several other big moves, 45%, 45% again. So, you know, we get these pumps in these bear markets. In fact, even in the crypto winter, right, we saw a monstrous 400% price pump on the Bitcoin price, right? What is that from? And could that happen again? It could, right? It could. We could hit $6,000, go all the way back up to $24,000, and come right back down to $6,000 in this current crypto winter, right? So expect that crazy volatility, and I'll tell you why that happens, right? So we could go all the way up to 28,000, fall down here thinking that everything is destroyed, and then going right back to 25,000 just to come right back down until we get our final bottom and push higher, right? And the reason why that is possible is because in these bear markets, remember what I said about Terra Luna and the UST stablecoin, which is currently pumping over 100% for basically no reason at all, right? There's only bearish news coming out for Luna and their stablecoin. But why is this pumping, right? It's because it's targeted by pump and dump groups, or just people who are belligerent, trying to long to make a quick buck without any fundamentals or reasoning behind it. And that's why we got this 400% price move during this bear market. But what I really want to warn about here with this type of pump is, yes, we do get these moves, but what caused these moves? Exactly what I said. But the problem, the reason why they don't sustain and go skyrocketing higher is because there isn't anything backing these moves. And all the while this is happening, right, we have the same people who take on too much leverage, start longing again without understanding that this is nothing more but a fake out. It's nothing more than a pump, right? And we can see that because we came right back down afterwards. But basically they long this, right, with high leverage. And then as the truth starts to come out, which was that this is complete fugazi, right? It's nothing. As the truth starts to come out, right, the price starts dropping, and then all these people who took out leverage start getting liquidated, causing the price to stay in the overall slump and do a lot of nothing while they get liquidated. And then when the time comes to catch the real pump, guess what? All these folks, they're gone. They're gone. They've been liquidated. They lost all their money. So please be careful out there and don't let that happen to you, because if you fall for those baits, right? You fall for those irrelevant price pumps, you really risk missing out on the bigger move that you cannot afford to miss, right? Because these are the moves that really cost life-changing money. So there is extreme volatility even within these microcycles, within these bear markets, and hopefully you enjoy that analysis. Hopefully that gives you some clarity on what to expect. Currently Bitcoin still hovering right around 20,300. I'm expecting the acceleration of the price move to start happening as soon as we get above 20,350. I really think we'll start to see the price begin picking up as soon as we reach those higher 20,300 levels, and then we could really start making a run towards those higher price levels back to upper $20,000 to $21,000 plus. Let me take a second to read your comments. We got Athrin, thanks for the analysis, keep up the good work. Thank you so much for watching. I appreciate the support. And I'm going to keep this video today a bit shorter. I wanted to really focus in mostly on Bitcoin today, and that's why I mostly covered Bitcoin. We also took a look at ETH. But with that being said, thank you so much for watching the stream. Thank you for your support, and thank you to our peak of 30 live concurrent viewers. I'm going to be calling it a day. Thank you so much for watching, everyone. Stay safe. Make sure to subscribe. Follow me on Twitter to stay updated with all my live updates, and I'll be seeing you next time. Thanks for the support, everyone. Have a great day.